A shared user warehouse is one in which a third-party logistics provider stores on behalf of a number of different customers. They may be related in some way, a supplier to a particular retailer, for example, or competitors who have decided to come together to share resources and save on outbound distribution costs. So, how do you charge those clients for the storage, handling, and dispatching of the products? Shared user warehouse customers are normally charged on an activity basis. Here are the typical methods. Storage charges, some examples, rate per pallet per week, rate per item per week, per square foot, per square meter, per cubic meter, per ton per week, per shelf location, and fixed rental costs per week or month. In the first 6 examples here, the rate is based on the unit of measure. This can cover clients who are storing pallets or items such as white goods, which can be bulk block stacked. Clients who require racked pallet storage are those who require smaller locations such as shelving or a combination. Calculating the total number of pallets to be charged per week can be done in a number of ways. The highest number of pallets in store during the week, the average number opening stock plus intake, or opening stock plus intake minus dispatches. Most companies will look for a minimum charge. In the case of a fixed rental cost per week or month, the client pays a fixed rate each week or month based on a previously agreed area or number of units of measure. For example, a client may require an area of 1,000 square meters in which to store product and carry out some value-adding services. If the client does not use the whole space, they will still be charged with the full rate. From the client's point of view, they are able to budget accurately each month. If the client exceeds the amount of space agreed, they will pay an additional charge. Handling charges are also known as receipt, handling, and dispatch. They normally charge on a rate per pallet and handle. Companies have to be careful here as this only covers full pallets handled in and handled out. If items are dispatched as cartons, an in-handling charge per pallet is normally used together with the rate per case dispatched. The costs are based on the amount of time calculated to undertake each movement, plus the cost of the mechanical handling equipment utilized. Here is a typical example. In terms of out-handling costs, if it is the same full pallet, we can use the same costs as mentioned, but in reverse. If the dispatch is in cartons or individual items, we need to calculate the amount of time it takes to pick and load an order. For this rate, we need to understand the customer's outbound operations in terms of number of orders, lines, and units per order, packing and labeling requirements. The costs will be the following. We will have labor as a time collection of orders, travel time to locations, pick time at each location, travel time to dispatch, labeling, packing time, and checking and loading time. Equipment use of power pallet trucks, contribution to voice technologies. Others, such as packing, labeling materials, supervisory costs, overhead, and profit. Once calculated and divided by the average number of cases per order, we should end up with the cost per unit outhandled. Value-adding services, these would normally be charged on an hourly basis until the cost per unit can be calculated, taking into account the productivity, for example, number of units labeled per hour. In this case, you will also need to take into consideration the cost of the labels and allocate space and equipment costs to the charge. You need to factor in the cost of picking the products from their locations together with any ancillary items and the transfer to and from the value-added services area. Supervisory costs should also be taken into account.